And then the next one's about a. So there's been the in the last few months they've been able to observe this collision between two neutron stars, and many of them are saying that this is possibly a formation of a magnetar, which is, like I mentioned before, it's a star, a neutron star with these like gigantic, intense magnetic fields. These collisions are very defined, so being able to observe one is awesome to see. Usually, with objects this huge, and well, not huge, but I mean like mass huge, they can turn into one or two things, like a more like dense star, or they can transform and collapse into a black hole. In this case, it says the team were able to observe the light from the kilonova and radio and near-infrared. And they said the captured light was not from the merger itself, but from the heated material surrounding it. And they found that if the two neutron stars collapsed into a black hole, there wouldn't be enough energy to produce the amount of light produced at these wavelengths. But if the merger created a magnetar, its strong magnetic field could boost the energy of the surrounding gas. And that would account for the extreme brightness of this kilonova. It's not confirmed that it is a magnetar, but they're leaning towards that being the most possible answer to it.
Yeah, you haven't started talking about magnetars until the last episode. Can you talk about like the different ranks of stars and the powers of of each one? what you know of?
Well, neutron stars are like these super dense stars that are they're not massive compared to like supermassive stars. They're so old, and well, not old, they're just like so dense that their mass is like it's like a balloon or something. Like it's ready to implode. Like they don't know when it's gonna, depending on if it merges with something, it could like they put off an amazing amount of like energy and light. So a magnetar is one of those neutron stars, but with the intense magnetic field.
Oh.
So if you have like two neutron stars merged together, then it could either go into the black hole because the mass is gigantic and it just implodes on itself and starts like sucking in material, or it could like just become a. So in this other article, it talks about like the collision of two neutron stars. It says, anyways, I'll just read what it says. It says the neutron stars consist of highly compressed dense material, the mass of 1.5 solar stars, squeezed to the size of just a few kilometers. This corresponds to similar, even higher densities than in the inner of atomic nuclei. If two neutron stars merge, the matter is additionally compressed during the collision. This brings the merger remnant on the brink to collapse into a black hole. Black hole is the most compact object in the universe. Even light cannot escape, so these objects cannot be observed directly. And then Dr. Baldwin from the GSI theory department, he says, the critical parameter is the total mass of the neutron stars. If it exceeds a certain threshold, the collapse to a black hole is inevitable. However, the exact threshold mass depends on the properties of highly dense nuclear matter. In detail, these properties of high dense matter are still not completely understood, which is why research labs like GSI collide atomic nuclei like a neutron star merger, but on a much smaller scale. In fact, the heavy ion collisions lead to very similar conditions as a merger of neutron stars. They say based on theoretical developments, they can compute these like models similarly to what a neutron star collision might be. And they go on. They talk about like a couple of different what possible outcomes might be of the neutron star collisions. Yeah, so we still don't have a exact evidence of how black holes are exactly created, but yeah, they are observing using different measurements like gravitational wave signals that carry information about the total mass of the system. And the more massive the stars, the more massive the gravitational wave signal. So that allows them to determine like the threshold mass. And yeah, there's just a lot of activity going through and these discoveries. So it's an exciting time.